The Celtics avoided the broom last night and got a much-needed series win down in the 305. So let's talk Celtics basketball with NBC Sports Boston's Tom Giles. He's up now, Tom. What a game last night. Celtics going to have to tap into that logo and get some luck of the Irish because no team's come back and won a series after being down 0-3. They got one last night. So do you think that last night's win is a shift in momentum in this series?
I do think it shifted momentum. I mean, whether or not the Celtics can win 4 straight against Miami, a team that had not lost at home before last night, that's a different story. But honestly, just going into last night's game, we're kicking it around in the newsroom, in the studio, and everything else, just wondering, can they get one? Can they put one together? And watching the first half, I was a little dubious, but you know, the way they came out in the second half, the way they defended, the way they knocked down shots, Jason Tatum asserted himself. You feel like, okay, they won one. Now you come back to Boston for game 5. All you got to do is win another, and all of a sudden the pressure starts mounting on Miami.
All right, you got the W. They got a shift in momentum, according to you, but is this a shift in chemistry? Because there's reports that Boston is, quote, a group that's tired of fake liking each other. So what are you guys saying in the newsroom? You think this is clickbait, or do you think that the chemistry is actually lacking with this team?
Yeah, I don't know if I really buy the chemistry one. You know, that kind of, it almost sounded like it came from someone just observing the team. Like, you know, so I don't know how much I put into it, but look, you're going to find out a lot about them. And obviously, you know, people also, you know, look at that report and then they're going to point to, well, no one had Grant Williams back when he got in the face of Jimmy Butler back in game 2. So, you know, I can understand when a team's down 3-0, why we want to find reasons for that. But you know, it's in front of them now, right? So go out there and prove everyone else wrong. Show them that, you know, you guys are the team that everyone thought you were, and get another win against Miami, make the series 3-2, and get it back down to South Beach.
Yeah, it's hard to fake like each other when you're actually getting wins. Like, I can see if the team was trash, and you know, so this is what the kids will call cap. All right, last question. If Boston loses this series, a lot of people are talking about Jason Tatum, Jalen Brunson. If they lose this series, what do you think is going to happen with that duo?
Yeah, I honestly think that you got to keep Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown together. I mean, no matter what. Yeah, it's just they're too talented. You know, I think Jaylen Brown probably still gets his supermax, and they got to figure out how to probably, I don't know, maybe add another piece that brings some championship you know, just someone that's been there before, some championship experience. You know, I think that maybe that would be the one thing on the roster that they don't have right now, you know, and maybe just a little bit of toughness because you know, you brought up Jalen Brunson's name. You know, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, those guys bring the toughness for the New York Knicks. And it just seems like at certain times in this series, the Celtics didn't have that. Haven't had that. Maybe they can show that in the final few games here and find a way to get past Miami. But I don't think there's a world in which you're splitting up Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown at this point. They're too talented, and you don't want to overreact. You got 2 guys in the prime of their career. It feels like there's other changes you can make before you got to that drastic one.
All right, well, thanks for having my back. Like someone needed to have Grant Williams back just now in that slip up, man.
Hey, that's all good, man. I mean, you guys, as Knicks fans, I just want to know from you. You're playing Miami. I think we looked at it. How are you guys seeing the Heat? Because they don't look like an 8 seed to us.
Absolutely not. I mean, when you go and you knock off the number 1 seed with Giannis, the Greek Freak, and then you go and you come into Madison Square Garden, they're playing lights out basketball. And I mean, it's the same thing in football. You get momentum. Once it comes to playoffs, it's a completely different season. You always want to be firing on the right cylinders when you hit the playoffs. And that's exactly what the Miami Heat are doing, man. We've never seen an 8 seed this good before. So that's why a lot of these erroneous media reports and stuff, people are just looking at it like, look, it's not like it's a regular 8 seed that doesn't belong in the playoffs. We're talking about playoff Jimmy Buckets, and Eric Spoelstra is just, I mean, the man's coaching his butt off.
Yeah, they're more like a 4 or 5 seed to me at this point. And just right now, they're the 2 seed. It's a 1 and 2 right now in the East. So we'll see what happens, Brandon. Thanks, man.
All right. Thanks for joining us, man.